Method of overloading, overriding, class casting. Downcasting. Okay, we'll just check this and check this one by one. Okay. So as a part of method overloading in the sense we are using in the same class. There are many concepts repeating in another modules. Why I mentioned that? Because you will have consistency in remembering the concepts one after another with practice. So overloading, overriding, you already know, but the way we do, I'll just make it clear again that I mentioned as a module again. I will close all tabs and we'll create a new folder called add new folder module 13. Inside module 12, if something is there, I will close the methods. You can find out where it is main method. Control Shift F and find out main method. Control Shift F can exactly give the name. So here we have main method, right? Modify to 16. Again, go and check whether where we have. Here we have, yeah. So apart from that, we don't have anything. So we can create new class now, right? So close this and close this, close all. Fine. Add new class. Class name called module 13.cs C#. So now let's start. Let's create public int add int a comma int b. Now we will return a plus b in this method as a return. Now we have to add two numbers. Int a comma int b comma int c. I will return a plus b plus c. Again, I want to add boolean or I want to add float. Float a comma float b means I want to add the decimal points. You got it? Here we can return as and we will return a plus b. So if you want to add any other number of the things, now I will create module 3 obj equal to new module 13. So now the thing is, if you see, there are few more methods with the same name, but with different inputs. The thing is, method overloading significance is it will be used in the same class. It will be used in the same class, but based on the different inputs. So based on the different inputs, it will be used in the same class. So the different inputs that will respect to what the operation that you are doing. Here, if we give float, that will take this particular method. If we give int, that will take over this particular method. Now, take an example of that console.writeLine. If you see, writeLine, if I print 1, it will call one particular method. If I print true, it will call another method. The thing is, it is also overloading. So now go to this particular code, right? Go to right click and go to implementation. you see it will take over to the int method. Here again we have float method which will take float value. You got it? Again it is having double, it will take the same way. There is one more method which will take boolean also. That is the importance of overloading in the same class with different inputs. So that is the significant, the way we want to use it based on the requirement and all. You got my point, everyone? So that is what usage, and you need to use based on your, requirement. The same way. Now, if I talk about class casting, upcasting and downcasting, here that will comes with inheritance. Now you see, I will create a class which is uh, human. I will create a class human. We'll do public void walk. We will do walk. So this will have console.writeLine. Walking every day in the lake. So this is human. Now I want to take gens. Gens are from human only. Human species. Correct. Gens or ladies, whatever it may be. Now the same what we'll do, public void speak or walk. Console.writeLine. Gens are walking every day near lake. You see, it is the child class. Human is the parent class. Now I create a main program here. Just comment this down. I have main method. Now I'm trying to access this. So what is the class casting? So class casting is human h equal to implementation class, which is gens. This is the casting to the child, right? This is the parent and this is the child. Now this object of type we are implementing with gens. Now this object will get the reference of the gens. Why? Because human gens is of the human base. So now this will refer to this particular instance space. This is the class casting. We already explained you, but this is the concept called class casting. If you try to walk now, which will call walk, it will call child class only, gens only, because it's already casted up. You got my point? It's already casted up. So that will call upcasting or class casting, right? Let it load. It will run the application. It's building. First time it will be long time. Yeah. Walking every day in the lake. Now we want to get the gens. Walk. So we didn't override that particular method, right? We need to override. Otherwise, it will not take that. So that you cannot. If it is what override means, it should be virtual or abstract. You know that. Now it will take the this child class related method. You got it? You should override if you want to take that. This is the upcasting or the class casting. The next one is downcasting. See here we have human h equal to human of like human h1. H. See, I am downcasting this. If I am trying to h1 dot walk, which will call? Child class methods will not call. Parent class methods will only call. You got it? That is downcasting. Means from child to parent, we are going back. So we will do one more time. Alright. Gens are walking everywhere. So it's virtual overrided method, right? So it will take the same. So what we'll do, we will remove one virtual and override so that you can see the difference, if any. It will always take the same method. See, it is taking the same method. Both are taking same methods. No need to confusion. What I will do, I will create one more method so that you can understand. Public void get age. I will return the age. I will return 19, okay? Not void int, right? So now if you get this h1.age, definitely it will call its parent method references only because that's existed in parent because that is the object of the parent. So we are getting that, we are not printing it. What we will do, we'll print it so that you can understand. Console.log, right line. This is from the get age. This is from the get age because that object is upcasted to parent class. Actually, gens object it is this, but we are upcasting to the parent class. So it will upcaster. That is the upcasting and downcasting, like downcasting here it is. Here it is upcasting, class casting. So now what is method overriding? There is a method in the parent class and in the child class also we are overriding this logic. Even though if you called with that particular parent object, it's always calling this. You know that, right? So that is the overriding. So it is overriding by its own logic what we are giving the same way. So now you need to take care of exceptions. For example, if I declare throws some exception, for example, throw new exception, not valid. You got it? If I'm trying to throw exceptions, right? So we need to give exceptions for this particular method also. Like it will get the runtime exception. So now, for example, I don't want to give here. Let's try one more example. Int age equal to 17. So I need to check if age greater than or equal to 18. Then I can print it, right? Or else you are eligible for what? Else, else I want to give, I want to raise an exception. Next is exception handling. Okay. Age is not sufficient. Okay. You got it. The same exceptions will be thrown in the child class also if you are using in the child class. For example, it's virtual. The same will be overridden here also, right? Which will have the exceptions. That exception chain we want to continue. If it is raising exception here, here also it might have the same type of exception. Exceptions might be used. Exceptions might be wisely handled. You got it? This is the one. Then now the next one is we should always call this. Then I will create the new method, which will be walk. Means method is hidden. Then it will call always this particular method only from human object. Or even gens object, if you call that particular thing, right, it will call that method. So we are hiding this, we are not overriding. That is method hiding, which we already discussed yesterday. Now I will create a class, method dispatch example. So if you call about method dispatch example, method dispatching is the same. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ హ్యూమన్ హెచ్ ఈక్వల్ టు న్యూ జెన్స్ ఇచ్చాం. ఇక్కడ వాక్ అని కాల్ చేస్తే మనకి ఏది కాల్ అవుతుంది? పేరెంట్ క్లాస్ ఇట్ విల్ కాల్. బట్ అది డైనమిక్ ఎలా డిస్పాచ్ అవుతుంది? వర్చువల్ అయితే ఇక్కడ ఓవర్ రైడ్ అయింది అనుకోండి, then it will call this. Otherwise, if it is not virtual and overridden, you got my point. If it is not virtual and overridden, it will all call always this. This is the dynamic method dispatch. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, నేను ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ని ఐ కన్వర్టెడ్ టు ద బేస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ విచ్ ఇస్ హ్యూమన్. దెన్ గెట్టేజ్ అనేది ఇదే కాల్ అవుతుంది ఆల్వేస్. It will call this only. But if it is virtual and it's overridden, then it will call always. This is the dynamic method dispatching. సో దాన్నే మనం డైనమిక్ మెథడ్ డిస్పాచింగ్ అంటాం. అంటే బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద బేస్ క్లాస్ ఆర్ ద డిరైవ్డ్ క్లాస్, ఇట్ విల్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ కాల్ ద రెస్పెక్టివ్ మెథడ్. అది వర్చువల్ ఈ ఓవర్ రైడ్ అయితే ఇట్ విల్ ఆల్వేస్ దిస్. ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ వర్చువల్, దెన్ ఇట్ విల్ ఆల్వేస్ కాల్ దిస్ వన్ ఓన్లీ. అది బేస్ క్లాస్ అయినా చైల్డ్ క్లాస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అయినా ఇట్ విల్ ఆల్వేస్ కాల్ నాన్ వర్చువల్ మెథడ్ విచ్ ఇన్ ద బేస్ క్లాస్. ఒకవేళ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ వర్చువల్, then it is overridden in the child class, then it will always call the overridden method only. That is the dynamic method dispatching based on the object, whether it is for child class or whether it is for parent class, and also based on the dependency whether it is virtual or overridden. దాని డైనమిక్ మెథడ్ డిస్పాచింగ్. దీన్ని అప్కాస్టింగ్ అంటాం. బేస్ క్లాస్ నుంచి చైల్డ్ క్లాస్ కి. అగైన్ ఇట్ విల్ కాల్ as dynamic downcasting, where from parent class like child class objects to parent class we are converting. That is the downcasting. అంటే రివర్స్ వెళ్ళడం కదా. మనకు తెలిసింది ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మనం దీనికే క్రియేట్ చేయగలం ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ దట్. అదే మనం ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మళ్ళా మనం దీన్ని డౌన్ క్యాస్ట్ చేయాలి కాబట్టి రివర్స్, దాన్ని డౌన్ కాస్టింగ్ అంటాం. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ టుడే యాస్ ఎ క్లియర్లీ. So that will give you more motivation to work. So I prepared the material, module 11 also. Module 12 and 13 I now upload. So that recording will be also uploaded now. You can try and practice this much today morning. We'll discuss the remaining 1-2 concepts.